All right, so introducing the advisor portal, Trustworthy's advisor portal for our TC&Es. So the family operating system, we created that first at Trustworthy, and then we realized there's a lot of advisors who are working with clients. They're helping them get everything organized within Trustworthy, and it'd be great to have a portal where they could do this and manage all of their various client accounts more efficiently through one interface. And that's where the advisor portal kind of came to be. So you're able to log in, there's a client dashboard, you can see all of the clients that you manage, and you can go in and out of those accounts within your portal login and do any tasks or reminders or any work that you need to do within that environment. Here's another kind of screenshot so you can see in the portal. I can, at a snapshot, look at one of my clients. I can see their status, it's active. I can also confirm whether they've added any legacy contacts, which is super important to their account. I can easily click over and switch into that client account if I need to add some files or check in on some things that maybe I knew they were going to be updating for our work to see if they did it correctly. So really, this is a huge benefit from an efficiency perspective. It also is very helpful from a security perspective, prevents fraud, missed emails, things of that nature. And then again, back to kind of the legacy focus. I know a lot of you all help people get prepared, help for their legacies, for their children who will be taking things over when they're no longer here. And this really helps kind of streamline that whole process and keep everything bundled up within one interface. Another huge part of the portal is we have some new features that just came out recently, which really help you onboard your clients more rapidly within Trustworthy. One is that you can just drag and drop files or folders even into this interface right here. They will populate into the client's Trustworthy account in their inbox section. And then you can go in there at a later date and pull them into whatever category or section they belong to, but it's an easy way to kind of dump things in as you're going through each client. The other feature that we added, which is really I'm super excited about, is this custom email to inbox. So for each client that you manage within the portal, you get a custom email. So what you can do with this email is you can save the contact. So if it's Jane Doe's Trustworthy account, I would save it as such in my contacts in my Gmail. And whenever I would receive an email from maybe another advisor or a lawyer that has an attachment that Jane Doe needs in her Trustworthy, I can simply use this email address, forward it to this email address, and it will populate in Jane Doe's Trustworthy account. It'll pull the attachment out of the email, run it through autopilot, and have it in that inbox waiting for me to, again, pull into the proper category. So we're really focused on making more and more improvements to the onboarding process. You want to make sure it's as lightweight as possible for you all, so you can get your clients up and running on Trustworthy as quickly as possible with less effort needed on your side. Another great feature that we've added is there's super easy to add internal team members and external advisors to the portal. So if you have different people that you work with and they're just working on one specific account, or maybe they're just a tax advisor for a certain client, you can give them access, permission them access to just that one specific client and that one specific, the taxes, to help add files, collaborate, etc. So there's a lot of different ways that the portal can benefit you from an efficiency perspective, security perspective, and then also from a collaboration perspective.
And Kate, one of the themes that we've heard a lot about you and I as we've met with daily money managers in particular, I hear this, is I just want to get the information in so I can do my real work. And that's a big emphasis here, is like, we want to help you get the information in so you can go focus on like the real extreme value add that you have for your clients. And that's why we're trying to make this simpler and simpler.
Exactly. Yeah. No, very well said, Ellen. Yeah, that's exactly right. We want to make this as easy as possible so you can do the real work, so to speak. Yeah, and another recent update that we made to the portal is you now have the ability to scale as you go. So you can start with a 30-day trial. It's free. And you can add seats as you need them. So you could, a seat would be a client account. So you start with 4, the next month you need to add another 4, or you just need to add 1. You can do that. So you're just paying that incremental cost So we're breaking down the $120 per year cost to $10 per client per month. So it's a monthly fee that you'll be will debit your or use your credit card. We'll deduct that each month, depending on how many seats you have. If at any point a client maybe leaves your services or no longer is working with you, we can remove them from your portal. So they'll receive an email that their seat is no longer being sponsored. They can choose to take over the subscription if they'd like to have it on their own. And then now you have now have a free seat back that you can use for a new client that you're bringing on board or someone else that needs it in the future. So there's a lot more flexibility there to add and remove as needed. And then the monthly payment is really helpful too in managing cash flow and things of that nature. Yeah, and with that, those are just some of the highlights of the newest kind of updates that we've made to the portal. I'm going to hand it over to Ellen, who can dive in a little deeper. She'll pull up the portal, give you guys a look of what the advisor portal looks like, and then we can kind of go onto questions and whatnot from there.
All right, thank you, Kate. And we do have a few questions. One question, Kate, that I wanted to address before I dive in was we alluded to the fact that we work with a big variety of advisors. And this question was about professional home organizers that are working in the digital organization space. And are you familiar with how professional home organizers are using the advisor portal?
Yeah, in this very similar way as some of our financial advisors and wealth managers, a lot of them, what they like to do is try to first help jumpstart the Trustworthy account on behalf of their clients. So they might, depending on how their practice works, if they're first going over and helping organize physical documents and items or digital, but they like to start by uploading a lot of important items that they have on behalf of their client, and then they invite them into Trustworthy from there. So that's a real warm start. The client comes in, they see a lot of their important information that's already populated. They can easily see the value, how they can use Trustworthy, and then they begin to figure out, like, based on what those plans are, what else the client needs to add into Trustworthy that the organizer does not have access to yet. However that works, they kind of figure out a plan from there on how to divide and conquer, so to speak. But it's a very similar way. I think the warm start's the biggest value add for a lot of organizers.
Perfect. And I'll show that a little bit more here in the demonstration. So as Kate said, I'm going to do kind of a light demo just to kind of give you the highlight of how this works and really the ease of the onboarding of new clients so that you can think about how this might work in your own practice. Oh, wait, quick question before we move on. Are you working with any trustees or estate planners using Trustworthy to address, how do I say that? Very long acronym. Kate?
Looking at that's a good question. We are working with a lot of estate planners. We've not discussed that specific item yet. I see. Yes. I'm sure that's a big part of it. That's not come up in conversations, but that would make sense. We did have a call with a money manager group last week who the whole digital security, digital assets was a huge part of why they're looking at bringing us on to be the advisor portal, bringing it into their firm to make sure they meet those criteria and needs. And security is often a number one driver that a lot of advisors, whether they're organizers, wealth managers, et cetera, come to Trustworthy because they do not want to be liable for how they store information and data, and they don't have the exact same level of security that we do. And so they see us as a good partner to help with meet those requirements and needs.
Perfect. Okay, with no further ado, let's see how this goes. I'm going to allow screen sharing here. And off we go, folks. Okay. Kate, can you see my
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I created a sample portal here with fake clients. No real information will be shared today, so have no fears. So you can see that it's branded to my fake company, Sterling Advisors. And the primary interface that you're going to work with is this client table. You can organize it by, as you can see, client name. It shows which advisors are assigned to this client. And sorry, I'm getting rid of Zoom screens here. Categories that the advisors have access to, and the important thing here, status. So Kate mentioned warming up your clients. One of the things that we heard time and again as we're creating this is that you might be working with a client and getting all of their information gathered, scanning it in, digitizing it, organizing it here in Trustworthy, but you don't really need to alert them yet. And sometimes in some cases, advisors they're using Trustworthy to manage things behind the scenes. Now, what that means is you can add a client here in the client portal like I did, Matt Bennett and Laura Reynolds, but they're in progress. They're not aware that I've created this account yet and that I'm working on it for them. When I'm ready, I can invite a client so that they can sign into Trustworthy and see everything I've prepared for them. So this last client, Andrea Morris, she's in active status. She signed in 5 days ago. She knows and she has access to all of the resources that I've already put in here for her. As Kate talked about, I can see a lot more information about each of my clients without even popping over to their account. Notably, we love that advisors are always trying to find out, did they do the homework that I assigned them? When were they last active? So that last active information we hear a lot about. We also hear a lot about legacy access because a lot of you are supporting them in one way or another, directly or indirectly, thinking about their digital assets and their digital future or their entire estate plan. And you want to know, have they thought through the legacy access to all of the important vital resources that you're putting here in Trustworthy? Well, we aren't disclosing information that is private, meaning the name of their legacy access folks. We are letting you know, do they or do they not have anyone nominated on Trustworthy who would have legacy access in the event that they were incapacitated or they were deceased. This is meant to help you have these really important conversations with your clients as you go along. As Kate mentioned, email to inbox is right here, and this email is unique to you. So let's say you share it with the client's realtor, and you tell the realtor, CC this email on all real estate documents as they're coming in. Great. All those real estate documents will fall into the client's inbox. They'll get automatically organized, ready to go. Let's say they fire their realtor. You can regenerate this email if you so choose and resend it to anyone that needs access to the new inbox email. So you do have the ability to regenerate those emails if for any reason you want to incapacitate the other ones. Adding files to a client account, it's a really powerful feature. I've been using it a lot lately for my own purposes. You might have a folder that you've been keeping somewhere else, and now you're getting all of your resources together in one place for your client. This is a very, very common flow. They have resources that they've saved or you've saved. Maybe you're using a Dropbox, maybe you're using Google, maybe you're using some internal back office software. You can take that folder and pop it right here, and it will go into the client's account and be waiting in their inbox. As Kate mentioned, we really wanted to make this a lot more flexible for you. So you can add and remove clients as needed, right? So I can remove this client and it will say, are you sure you want to do this? And what will happen is that once you remove them, they will get a notification that their membership has ended and they will have an option to purchase their own membership. All of their resources will be retained and await their decision. So they are not locked out. They will simply have that option to bring that over to a different advisor or to use it on their own. One of the things that we did here, you saw this on the slide that Kate showed, you can add or remove seats as you go along. So let's say you have a client that says, help me get set up. Great. So you're going through, you're digitizing, you're organizing with them, you're telling them, hey, you need to get these 5 things, let's add them together. And at the end of the month, they don't need any more support. They want to take it over. Okay. You can remove them and use that seat for somebody else, or you can reduce how many seats you're paying for each month. We also do have a lot of folks that are using various team members. You can add team members, as Kate mentioned. So as I manage my team, I might have a team member internally who's helping me manage all the clients. I might have external advisors. Let's say I have an attorney that I work with. I don't cover legal affairs. I can bring them in. I can give them access to clients right here. And I can assign this external advisor has access only to legal category for this client. So there's a lot of flexibility here to have people helping you with your clients only as needed with the only information that they need to have access to. I do want to show you quickly how I can show you here. I have an active client. I'm assigned to this client, so I can drag and drop a file. So I'm going to go grab a couple of driver's licenses and a passport. I'm going to drop it in. And then you'll see this processing files uploaded successfully, 3 of them. It means when I go over to Andrea's account, I'm going to go see those are over there. So I'm going to switch now to the client account and show you that those files are waiting for me. So here it notifies me I'm a partial access collaborator on this sponsored plan for this customer. It's loading, and you can see the inbox has 3 items waiting. It's the 3 things I just popped in on the portal. The portal side just makes it easy. You're grabbing files from here, there, everywhere, throwing them into the client account and adding them as needed. Now, Autopilot will already grab all those details for you. You don't have to type them in, no typos required. I'm not really great at typing numbers. It will give you smarter names for things as well. So Autopilot is really helpful in that way. It will also say, this person doesn't exist. Do you want to add that person? Yes, and then you can go file this away. It makes it really convenient to add information quickly and get it organized. So this is what I wanted to show you quickly about how you grab things from the inbox, populate them into an account. Now, this also works from email. So what we hear a lot about is, please rescue me and my clients from email. We can't take this anymore. I agree. We don't want things lost in an inbox. Now, in this case, I have this sample document. It's a 20-page life insurance policy. Great. Don't want that to live in the inbox, or in email. I have a few options. Now, Kate mentioned the email to inbox. So I've already copied my client's email inbox, and I can say, oh, let's send it to the client inbox, and I can send it that way. That's one option. Another option is, I'm going to delete that, if I can get to it, excuse me, Google, and I can open up the Trustworthy extension. We have a Chrome extension, and it will actually grab the document for me if I want to. So you can see here, it saw the Gmail attachment, and it says, where do you want to pop it? I can choose where I want to file it into insurance right away, for example, here, or I can say I just want to send it to the inbox and I'll organize it later. I have any of those choices are available to me. So what's beautiful about these longer documents inside Trustworthy, and why I think it's a really great example, is that what Autopilot does is help me understand right away what the key details are about this document, even though it's 20 pages. So this is why I use it a lot myself for a lot of longer documents, and send it over to Trustworthy where it can actually be made useful. It's not just stuck in a folder. Last thing I want to point out is that when you are using the Chrome extension for your client, it can also work in different areas where you're working for your client. Let's say you have a portal where you keep legal things or financial things inside certain software. You can also use the Chrome extension there, and you can take screenshots, and you can choose the visible part of the screen, and it grabs it automatically, and you can send that into your inbox as well. So it does make it available for you to grab really important information. This is a construction permit, and send it over to Trustworthy as well from different applications where you're supporting your client. All right, I'm going to pause there. I know there's quite a few questions. Kate, do you want to kick off with one?